Don't do it. I don't know what you're talking about. It's Morbin time. Okay, people, today let's take a quick look at the Mezco 1/12 Collective Marvel's Morbius. And yes, we've been waiting for this for a while, but at this point I just click pre-order and forget about it. Not just with Mezco, Mafex, other toy lines. Because these days, there is something shipping at any given moment. Or shipping notice. Or processing soon. Or I have to go to the post office. Go to the mailbox. Open some boxes. So, yeah, it's a balance. In fact, it gets to the point where it's like, oh, happy surprise. Because this is Morbius, and looking at the box, oh, that's scary. Morbius. Morbius! On the side, another image of Morbius at a rave or something. On the back, the pretty promotional shots. There's the figure, the heads, the accessories, mood lighting, very nice backgrounds, beautiful images. On the other side, yet again, on the top, 1/12 Collective, post-play display. On bottom, legalese barcode. Let's get this open. No tape, but that's okay. I haven't even pulled it out of the tray yet, and I can already tell those faces are much, much brighter than the promotional images. These give it kind of a gray tone, the shadows and stuff. That is some white. Is that a battery? Is that actually included? Oh, instructions. Multi-layer mobile science lab with light-up function. Light-up function, spinning test tube mixer, and mini computer. This tray features light-up function only. Are those not the same tray? Are you explaining to me how a suitcase works? I love, love, love that they include a baggie. I also love Mezco's flight stands because they are so solid. They are heavy duty. Now there is a foot peg in the hole to put the stand. Push from the other side. Plug. There you go. Getting the figure out of the package, there is some protective plastic pieces between the upper arm and the softgoods sleeve. That's to keep the cloth or the dye from staining the plastic. At least on mine, it's always going to be covered. So even if it does stain, well, maybe I'll keep it up a little bit above the elbow. This plastic piece, I can see protecting it though, because it's the disco V-neck. If it's stained here and you get crazy with them, you can see it under there. Oh, it's around its whole you gotta pull the head. I see what's going on here. It's a blood bib. Getting past that, we get to the figure itself, and oh, it is so Morbius. Now, the lighting is going to be weird here because I had to shut off a couple of LEDs. They were just making the bright white brighter and wider, and I want everything to be visible when it comes to the sculpt because it is so fantastic. I mean, the focal point is that head sculpt, right? And the pointy ears, the flattened out nose, the bat-like features, the hair just hanging straight down, that calm but sinister look, little goatee, the sunken cheeks, the decayed flesh, the striations on the chest, but muscular, the shiny blood red eyes with the subtle shading around it, just giving it so much depth. Dry brush on top of the black hair, just bringing out some of that detail. The forearms are a bit plain in comparison, just because, well, we have this, and then you get to the hands, and those are veiny with a slight blueness underneath. And by underneath, I mean the fake plastic skin. It's painted that way. It has a white over it. It's a nice effect. Fairly simple boots. They look like leather coming down over the feet, and then they come up at an angle and higher on the outside. They're stylish. I'm going to turn on the light so it'll make it a little easier to see. See what I said about the face? I am not doing this in editing. That's just how bright it is. While I have the lights on, I want to point out the extra detail to the costume. They could have just done a black costume and it would have been fine. But getting up close, they Mezco-fied it a little bit. I want to call it spiderwebby, but it's not. Halloweenish, but not. Oil spilly, but not. It spruces it up without getting too crazy with it. And it's the same thing back here on the cape, and then you turn it to the inside, and it's also on the red. You can spread it out to get that Morbius, if you want to do the, is that the flight pose? I love that it folds down into just a mini cape. It's almost hidden behind his silhouette. All that detail is also up on the collar, but that brings me to one of my gripes, my early gripes anyway, my initial nitpick. This is what it looks like out of the package, and I've tried to tweak it and get it to flow up and kind of out and stay even because I want it symmetrical, but popped up, and it keeps going to this position. This is down and this is up. Maybe I'm missing something. I need to heat it up or put it into position and leave it there, or put the fold down. That gets it to lay down a bit, but I don't know. It looks okay like that. I would not gripe, but there's something to be said about a vampire and his collar coming up around his head. Turn this back off. There we go. Ooh. Oh, I forgot to mention, yeah, it folds in on itself, but it's also wired, so you can get some action pose out of it. Make it dynamic. Wish there was a wire right here. Unless I broke something. Going over articulation, there is a dumbbell joint up at the top of the neck with a ball underneath. But this head is a long hair sculpt, so, well, I don't know. He can look a little up, some down. Quite a bit of tilt. Looking for blood? There is a butterfly joint. Pin coming out to the shoulder, rotates up. You're gonna get some material stretch about right there. Hinging up. Oh, not shabby at all. There's a bicep swivel under there. Double elbow comes up most of the way. Swivel, hinge, swivel at the wrist, so there's rotation at the hand, and then hinge forward and back. But you can rotate it around and go side to side if you want. There seems to be a ball joint or a dumbbell mid-torso, and then a ball at the waist. Quite a bit of crunch. Arc back and then some tilt. And rotation too. Leg swings forward and back and then, ooh, out. Better than a lot of Spider-Mans. Swivel at the thigh. Double knee comes up. Oh, most of the way. Dumbbell joint at the ankle. Allows the foot to rotate. Hinge back, hinge forward. And there is some rocker. I am happy to see that on some 112 Collective. For accessories, I already showed this amazing looking head that was on it out of the package. The head pops right off. It's always so satisfying when it comes to Mezco. There's this alternate head. Morbius is starting to get a little angrier. The brow's more furrowed, the mouth's open, bearing some fangs. Then there's this head, full-on vampire, going after some victim. Mouth more open, ready for some bite action. Eyes are even more closed, more furrowed brow, flared nostrils, hair flying out. Yeah, Morbius is a predator. And when he's bearing fangs like this, he's not gonna engage in fisticuffs. So the fist that came on it out of the package, which I didn't even realize, look at that painted thumbnail, that's awesome. Like the heads, oh, Mezco does such a good job with poppable parts. This head needs hands like this, just claws ready to rend and tear. But then there's also a pair of emotive hands. The claws are still showing, but it's kind of I'm giving a lecture or threatening or something. There's also a trigger finger hand and a grippy hand. That works with the last accessory, the suitcase. When it comes to Mezco, I'm used to this tray being full of accessories, and then sometimes even an under tray with more accessories. So to see just the figure, the heads, the hands, and this suitcase, it was kind of like, where's all the stuff? All the stuff is in here. The case itself has M's on it, you know, for Morbius. And the handle does work. Now, I know that's not a big thing to get excited about, but it's the little things. But then once you open it up, holy moly. There's tools and vials, and these are vials too. They just look like they're stuck down instead of sideways. Nice leather effect for these other tools. The instructions call this a hematology analyzer, so that's what I'm going with. And I didn't show it, but that fits right into there. And then there is this foldable microscope. The instructions show just a simple flip. The arrow just points, and there you go. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do. Bring this down, and this looks like, oh, that fits into there, huh? Lock that tab into there, and then this is here, and then you have the microscope looking down on it. Wait, there is more. It's a little hard to get a hold of, but the bottom tray does come out. I said it comes out. Give it to me. It comes out. And there's more stuff underneath. There's two stakes, and watch, I'm gonna flip this. Oh, it does come out, okay. I thought I was gonna flip that out and the carpet monster get a snack tonight, but nope. Does this one come out too? Oh, yep, it does. It stayed on the table. This hammer thing, the little tubes here don't come out, and surely those bullets don't come out. The serum gun does come out though, and that is what the trigger finger hand's for. You talking to me, punk? And then whatever this dagger is, it's also removable. You know, for Morbius to just stab people. Talking to me, punk. Here's Morbius's accessories, all in one place, but we're not done. There's the top two. If he has his mobile lab set up and he's wanting to surf the internet, see what Spider-Man's doing or something, that screen flips up so he can... The test tube is removable from these clips right here, and that's different than the bottom, where it's a molded opening. Same for the beaker. He can hold that in his hand too. Go. You talking to me, punk? I think I like the clips a little better. It's easier to get in and out of. There's more to this too. Well, we saw the instructions, so you know this lights up. So no big surprise, there's a battery case. And there is a battery included. That is very, very cool of you, Mezco. On-off switch on the other side. And that gets that lit up. Oh, now it's spinning. Oh, that lights up too. It seems to be just going back and forth. So it spins for a minute, brings up the data. And yeah, it's 4 LEDs and then however many this is, but it's still a neat little thing. A little extra value. Here's all of Morbius's accessories. I can stand them on the shelf. I can have this behind him, and then the heads in the baggie that came with it. Morbius stands at about 6 3/8 inches tall, which is shorter and thinner than the two Mezcos I pulled out, the Toy Fair Blade and the Crow, my favorite 1/12 Collective figure ever. Now that does fit 1/12 Collective, if you like your Morbius shorter and thinner, but it also does nicely move over into Marvel Legends realm. Neither of these were ever my favorite Morbius. This is closer than this, but oh man. Even with the soft goods, it won't look out of place on that shelf at all. I think this is the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man with a casting cave Peter Parker head, and then the older Blade. I don't have the new one yet. Here he is with a couple of other Marvel Legends Spider-Mans, the retro carded and the Amazing Fantasy 15. The Fison, or what is the line called? The Vampirella with the cadaver body. And then, yes, I do own some Mythic Legions. Here's a vampire from that line. Here's the Jada Toys Universal Monsters Dracula and the McFarlane Toys My Hero Academia Eraserhead. And I only pulled him out because he looks like he hangs out with this Morbius. To swing back around to Mezco 1/12 Collective, here is their Nosferatu and Frankenstein. So at the end of the day, I really like this figure. I really like this figure. I keep wanting to say I wasn't expecting much here, but I was. I saw the original pictures, that's why I pre-ordered it. I knew the overall look beat out any Marvel Legends Morbius. Mezco took all those ingredients, mixed them together, put it in the oven with love, and made a delicious cake. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I am gonna mess with the collar more. I know I have it down, but I don't know, that also flows into the cape and allows the head sculpt to shine more. Yeah, I guess it's been a while since I've opened a Mezco. I've gotten some, but because of this, I haven't had a chance to do a lot of opening. So maybe that's it, you know? I'm back at it. I'm cracking open figures from companies that I haven't messed with in a while. And, ooh. But there's also something to be said about... Okay, that Hasbro stuff, it's passable. We won't even go back to the melty face Morbius. I don't count that one. Those are okay for the 20, 25, whatever they cost at the time. So this being the price it is, it should beat the hell out of those figures. I'm pretty happy. Can you tell? Yeah. I could put it this way. This is my be-all, end-all. Is that how that goes? This is my ultimate. No, we don't want to say that. This is my Morbius. This is my main display Morbius. I don't think I could come up with a better compliment than that. If it goes in the main display, that means it is it for me. Until the next best thing, or the next big thing, the next shiny.